Welcome back to Engineering with Evans. In this video, I want to show you how to work with shapes and to move them, resize, copy, and paste. So on TinkerCAD, again, we have our work plane. We can view using our view cube. We can zoom in and out by scrolling. The next thing we want to learn how to do is use some of our forms and shapes over on the right-hand side. So the first basic window is just basic shapes, but there's also text and numbers, characters, and a lot of different things. You can even generate your own shapes. But we're going to start with just the basic shapes. And to get a shape onto your work plane, you click and hold, and then drag it onto the work plane. And once it's here, there are a few things we can do. So if we click on our shape, we'll notice that it is highlighted. So it has a faint blue highlight around it. And we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different angle toggles, which are going to allow us to resize our shape. Over here on the right, or wherever your shape pop-up window goes, you can turn it into a hole or a solid. You can choose different colors, and you can change different features of your shape. So steps and radius won't do much here, but maybe we want to change our length or our width or our height. We can do that with these scroll menus to either reshape our objects width, length, or height. Okay, so that's one way you can change your shape. I'm going to actually leave it as a box, because how I like to change my shape is by clicking and dragging these corners. Okay, if you just click and drag, you have the opportunity to form the shape, to resize it in various ways. A useful trick is to resize it but keep it proportional, so still make it a perfect cube. To do that, when you're clicking and dragging, you're going to hold Shift on the keyboard. And you'll notice that as I drag now, it's going to scale my length, width, and height dimensions proportionally, so at the same time. I can also directly edit these dimensions if I'm trying to hit a mark. So right now the units are millimeters. So this is 23 by 23 millimeters. I can click and change that drawing in order to change it all. And again, because I was doing Shift for my last resize, when I changed one dimension, it was changing all the dimensions. Okay, so that's how you can change dimensions. Again, we can drag any of these 4 corners. To change the height, we grab the white box on the top. And to move our shape up and down, we grab the black arrow on top of it. So this isn't changing its height. This is literally moving it off of the surface. So I can move it up and down with respect to my work plane. So if I look from the front now, it is no longer on the work plane. It has distance. So if I click that, I can bring it back to 0, and it is now flat on my work plane. Okay, so that's a key distinction. This black arrow actually moves things up and down. Okay, last thing is to copy and paste. So maybe I want to make multiple of these. So I can press Control-C, Control-V on my keyboard, or I can use the copy and paste, or I can just duplicate and repeat, and that will also give me a shape. I can use my arrow keys on my keyboard to move them as well. So to demonstrate you know how to do this skill, I want you to show me some telescoping shapes. So I want to tinker this. Apologies for that delay. Again, so to show that you know how to scale, change the size of, and move shapes, I want you to create a telescoping shape. So use one 3D shape, make it 3 different sizes, and connect them together. So you can have a telescoping shape. This one looks a bit like a snowman. This is almost like an old school camera. Just, again, get used to and play around with dropping in shapes and adding dimensions, resizing them, and moving them around.